Hi, my friends. Welcome to my page, DIY Crafts with Dar. Happy Tuesday. We are going to make one of these cute little cabinets. Okay, I pre-painted that because we're going to make an insert too. So I don't want to take the whole time just painting. So I did pre-paint the cabinet, but I want to show you how to assemble it because it's a little tricky. So go ahead and say hello as you hop on and we'll get started on that. I'm thinking we probably should just paint the insert first, and then we'll come back to doing the cabinet because that way we have more people here. And because they kind of trickle in as Facebook notifies people. So anyways, we're going to do that. I have the one from, let me just go ahead. Let's do this. Let me go ahead and put you down to the table so you can see everything better. There we go. Okay. And then let me grab the cabinet. So I did this one. It's a single. Okay. So this one's going to hold one of the inserts. And then one of the signs at the top. Okay. So this is the single. I told you there were others coming. And then this is the one that I showed you from yesterday that I almost fell, that holds two. Okay, so this is the large one and this is the single size. So it'll hold one of these signs. We're going to do a B one. It's a new one. I just posted it. And there's two drawers here. There's one drawer here. There's one thing for this sign. So I'm going to show you how to do all that. Like I did pre-paint, so you didn't have to go through that part. But let's paint the insert. Let's paint this little Be Kind insert first. Go ahead and say hello. So it says Be Kind, and there's a little honey pot, and then there's a little beehive with a bee, and then this says Home Sweet Home, and it's like a honeycomb. So there's Velcro that goes with it. There will be a little piece of jute tied on there. There will be a ribbon tied around the jar. I think what I'm going to do it the easy way. I don't want to tie it around and have it, I think it's going to be hard to tie the bow around it. So I'm going to put a piece around that, and then I'm going to tie a little bow separately. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. This is so you can line up the Velcro. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So you put the insert in there, and then you flip it over and you put the Velcro through the holes so that it's always lined up in the correct position. So we're going to do all of that. But let's come back to this. Let me see how many people are on here. It really depends on how many people are already on. We could go ahead and glue that together. Go ahead and say hello, and I'll put myself in the corner. How is everybody? Happy Tuesday. Oh gosh, I slept so good. I had crazy dreams last night. So I know I slept good because I was deep in sleep. I was really sound asleep. I was having really cray dreams. So anyways, let me turn down my volume, make sure that's down all the way. And we will get painting this, and then we'll come back to the assembly because I want to make sure there's a lot of people on here. The assembly part is a little bit tricky. So I wanted to show you that. The painting part is easy. You can paint any color. You can do a solid color. You don't have to do a variety of colors. Come on. Sharing. Okay, got it shared over. So, well, there's 13 on here, 14. Well, let's go ahead and let's glue this together so it can be drying. Okay, so let's glue the cabinet together, then we'll come back and we'll paint this. Okay, so let me just scooch this to the side. All right, and then we'll come back and we'll paint an insert. So this is the single. Okay, the double's what I showed you yesterday. All right, so refresh. So this is the double. So it's exactly the same thing except that it only has the one section. And the only thing different on this one is that in the center there's going to be the little knobs. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you the assembly part because it's a little tricky. And I want to make sure that you guys understand how it all goes together. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Hi, Holly. Hi, Sylvia. Let me go backwards on this. Hi, Lori Walsh. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Vicki Campbell. Hi, Lynn. Hey, Tracy. You see a lot of designers making the cap. Yay. There's a lot, huh? Hi, Laura. It's really popular right now. Are you the one who had a gaming transfer? I don't have a gaming transfer. You were going to look for me after you came back. Not me. I don't have any gaming transfers. So it must have been someone else. So if I had one, it would have been with the kits that I sold. I sold it all in the kits. I don't think I have one separate. Okay, let me get a little. Yeah, I used to have the kit that it came with, all the pieces. But I don't think so. I don't think it's me. Okay, so lots of pieces on here. Oh, Sarah. Oh, you're talking to Sarah. Sorry. I can't tell who you're talking to on here because it just shows me messages. Yeah, so if Sarah, thanks, Tracy. Okay. Hi, Eunice. How are you? Okay, let's get started on this. There's quite a few on here. Let me go ahead and put some glue here. And I'm going to show you how to glue this together. There's a lot of pieces, so let's dissect this. So we'll do the leg part last. Okay, there's a lot of, maybe we should glue that together so it can be drying. Okay, so I have glued some of the layers together. Okay, so on the legs, I actually did bulk it up one more because I felt like on my other one that wasn't enough. So there's layers. So there's the one layer that's going to go through the slot. Okay, so this is the slot at the bottom. And you don't have to paint everything because some things are stacked like this. This you're not going to paint. It's going to go right in there. So it's going to go like that. But you paint the front part that goes on there. So you could glue that in here like this and then glue these pieces on after. Okay, so I have a front and a back one. This is what holds it up. So we could go ahead and we could glue those in there right now. And then, and let it just sit. I'm actually going to put a bead of hot glue along the back part so that it's stable. Okay, and what else do I want to do? Is one of these closer to the front? Nope, I think that's how it is. Okay, so, maybe it has to be the other way around. Maybe it has to be like this. Yeah. Okay, so I think, yeah, that's how it goes. Okay, so one is closer to the front. And what, yeah. Okay, all right, but then I have to decide which is the front. So I have these pieces here. We'll glue that on after we glue this together. So this is the base part. These are layers. There's one layer that has the tabs, okay? And then there's two layers that go in front of it. Okay, hi Carrie, how are you? I did not get an email. You might want to try to send it again. I tried looking through my emails. I literally get hundreds of emails a day on my business account. I did not see an email from you. I wonder if it went into spam. So go ahead and send me another email. And okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put that there. Maybe I should do the hot glue. I should do that first. Get one of those done. Okay, so we're gluing the base part on first so it can dry really good. And then we have to glue the front parts on them. And I just like to put, a little bit of hot glue in there to make it stay. Okay, just like I do on my bases of my little standers. Okay, so we're gluing this all together. You can do it all one color if you want to use this white or black or blue or green. totally up to you what color you do it. Totally up to you. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to glue on this other side. Okay, because I'm going to put the painted part is going to go on the front. Okay, so I want to glue on the back part. Does that make sense? So I'm doing a little bit of hot glue, and then we're going to set this to the side for a minute, and we're going to work on the other part. Okay, this just helps me. I always do this just in case, so it's not going to ever come apart. It just gives it stability. Okay, then we're going to set it to the side. All right, so there's that. Okay, so we have the base part, and then we'll glue these pieces on the front face of it after that cools. Okay, so for right now, I can't do anything else. I'm going to leave that right there for a minute. Okay, then I have these two pieces are part of the base also. You're going to glue that together. This is what the bottom of this is going to go in it. Okay, there's lots of pieces. When you get your kit, you're going to come back and you're going to watch, because it's a little confusing. I just want you guys to be able to know how it all goes together. Okay, so you only have to paint the top one. If by chance you painted both, it's not going to hurt anything. Okay, we're going to paint the insert after this. I just want to get this all set. Okay, so make sure it's completely lined up. And then we're going to take apart the drawer. So the drawer is layers. So you have this front piece, this center piece, and this piece. Okay, so those are the only things that are painted. And then you have the slot. This is layers. This is 5 glued together. I glued it last night so that it could be dry. And then you're going to put this on here, and then this, and this. Okay, and then we're going to glue it onto this piece here. Okay, this is 2 pieces. There's a lot of pieces, all right? So let's glue this together, and we'll set this to the side for a second. This is the bottom part. Okay, so you only have to paint one of those because they're layered. When you get yours, I suggest laying it out, making sure that you know what to paint and what not to paint. I wish it said paint or not paint on it, but it doesn't. Okay, and then we're going to glue this drawer part. We'll set that to the side and let that kind of set up. Okay, so that's going to go there, because I had quite a few guys snag these yesterday. So I want to make sure that you know how to do these, you know, when you get your kit. So I figure I'll just paint one, and the inserts are easy. They're just painted like anything else that we normally paint. The inserts are super easy. This is a new one. I did post 2 new inserts. There's a sunflower one, there's a daisy one, and there's the bee one. Okay, so all right, let's go ahead. We can glue this on here, and we can set this whole thing to the side. Okay, so that's going to be the little drawer that sticks out. It makes it appear like there's a drawer, and it is pulled out just a little bit. So that's where you're going to put your inserts are going to be able to go in there. Make sure it's still all lined up and straight. Okay, and we'll set that to this side. Okay, now this is dry enough. Now I can put these on. Okay, so we're going to go back to our base. All right, we're going to put these on. So there's this side and then this side. So you're going to do both. All right, because this is going to be facing the front of the cabinet. Okay. So these are pieces, and all I did when I painted mine, I just painted it, and then I used the little scruffy brush and did some distressing. Okay, those are just going to go like that. Okay, easy peasy. Make sure they're lined up so that your thing will sit correctly so it doesn't tip. Okay, you're going to kind of squeeze it, get it in place, and then we'll set this to the side so it can be drying. I just tried to think of what's the correct order to do these in so that everything is drying while we're doing something else. Okay, so if you're just hopping on, we're assembling the single one. So this is the single little cabinet. The double is what I showed you yesterday. So the single's a little bit less expensive. It holds 1 sign and 1 insert. But because you're using the Velcro and one side is prickly and one side is fuzzy on the Velcro. You have to decide which one am I going to put on here for the sign. Okay, so there you go. Okay, we're going to set that to the side. We can just set that right there. And then we'll glue this together. Let me show you all the pieces. There we go. Okay, all the pieces on here. Okay, so that's like the front door pieces. All right. And then the lattice. All I did was I watered down my brown and did that. And then I used my scruffy brush, my chippy brush, and used the white. And this is a separate piece too. So there's, I've just painted the whole thing to make it easy. Hi, Darlene Bar. You know what? I extended the sale. The sale's going on right now. So it's, I extended it because I added these things. So let me give you the link to this collection. So if you want to go to the collection, I'll give you the link for this collection. I did extend the sale. I think it ends at noon today. It's hard for me, the AM PM thing. That was where yesterday it ended early and I'm like, oh no. So I did change, I did go back and extend it. Okay, there's that. Okay, so you got your big box of Happy Mail yesterday. Yay! you had so much. Okay, let's start at the top part. Let's do this part together. And I'm going to use a little sponge because it's pretty thin and I don't know if I can use the glue bottle to get that. So we're going to glue this fancy scrolly part on. I don't know that I'll sell these at my craft shows. They're labor intensive. I'm not sure. If I do, I would do the single one. I don't think I would do the double one. I don't know. What do you guys think at the craft show? I'm trying to decide because I already do the window and the window's really successful for me. So I don't know if I want to add another changeable thing in there. I'm not sure. I haven't decided. So, but I wanted to show you guys because I had quite a few people order and, you know, I wanted to make sure I'm doing all the things. We will do on Thursday, we'll do another part of our, sorry, I'm trying to make sure it's right at the top. We'll do another part of our monthly kit because most of you probably have it. We did part of our St. Patrick's Day monthly kit when I first showed it to you guys on the 1st of the month. We'll do more of it on Thursday. Guess what? I can finally announce that Thursday we will be launching Harry Potter. Tomorrow night, we will see what's going to be in it. I don't know how big the launch is. I don't know if it's 5 or 6 transfers. I don't know. They didn't tell us at this point, but I can tell you that Thursday, Harry Potter is coming. So I can finally tell you. I can finally tell you. Not that I've been keeping a secret very long. I have only known a few days. And they wanted us to wait. They probably wanted us to wait till tomorrow. But you know what? I'm telling you now that Thursday, Harry Potter release is coming your way. If you're a designer, you can sign up through Designer HQ. Sign up for the Zoom meeting. Make sure you're on there early enough so that you get a spot because it does limit out. You'll be able to see, but there will be a replay. So tomorrow night, they will be showing what's in the collection and I will be posting it for you guys. And Thursday, it will be releasing just our normal release time, just like we always do. So, oh, good morning, Janine. Cold and snowy. Oh my goodness. Yeah. You know what, Harry Potter, I actually watched it with my granddaughter one year. So when we went up to the cabin, she brought her whole collection and we watched the whole thing. So I think I might not have seen the very last one because I don't think her collection had everything. on it. Okay, so now it's time to put the drawer. Make sure that that part is up. Okay, we're gonna put this on here, and then we can start putting this whole thing together. Okay, so this is gonna be glue. I can actually glue this on here now. This, or I could wait. I could wait. I'm like, do I wait? Okay, so we're gonna glue this on now. Okay, so the drawer we're gonna glue on. So I'm excited to see what's in the Harry Potter collection. I know that there's quite a few people that are really fond of Harry Potter, and it's popular among the kids even still. Young adults. Young adults that grew up with it. So grandkids, I'm sure that it's going to be very popular. Okay, making sure that's all the way down. I probably want to wait a minute to glue that. Let's go ahead and we can go ahead and glue this on here. I worry that it's not going to be stable enough. I don't know if I should wait to glue it together until after we paint. We're going to paint this. Okay, so I was showing you how to glue this all together. That goes on top of here, so it's on top of the base. Okay, so it's just centered. That's why you paint both of those. So you just center that. This is going to go into that, but I think it needs to dry. So let's come back to that part in a second. Let's do the Velcro. There are little circles here. Let's do the Velcro. And I'm going to let me look at my other one and see. So the other one has the fuzzy part on the left side. You think you walked all with the left? Yeah, I think so too. Your kids are in their 30s and your middle daughter still buys Harry Potter. So yes, I think it's still popular. It really is. Sarah says she's not a Harry Potter fan, but you know that many are. Yes, see, that's the thing, is that, there are many people that are, and, it's hit and miss. You never know. You never know if you're going to have customers that like it or not. Just like Peanuts. Peanuts wasn't popular with everyone, but it was popular with many, many, many people. Okay, I'm just putting all the fuzzy ones on here. If you want to do half and half, you certainly can. I am going to do it like this. On my double-sided one, the left-hand side has the fuzzies on it. Okay, so then you just have to decide which one you're going to put the prickly side on. Okay, I think this is probably dry now. So now we're going to glue that on there, and then I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue. Okay, so that's where the signs are going to go onto there. I wonder if it's going to, oh yeah, because the Velcro sticks out. I'm like, is it going to work? I didn't bring any extras in here. It is going to work because the Velcro sticks out a little bit. Okay, so glue right there. We'll glue this together. I'll put a little bit of hot glue on the back, and then we're going to paint. Okay, and we'll set this to the side. So that just goes in there. I did double check everything. Previously, the slots were really tight, and so I made sure that they're going to be perfect for you. My laser has a really tight tolerance, and so the kerf, it's called a kerf, the way that it cuts, it's a little different than some of them. So I have to adjust mine. And when I took my kit up to the cabin, I had to do a little bit of sanding to get my slots to fit, because they did not fit perfectly. I have everything adjusted now. Now it just all fits good. I'm just putting some hot glue at the back, and I'm going to hold that so it's straight up and down for a minute there, and we're going to get started on painting. I'm going to get my board over here. I don't know that I need this great big board, but we're still going to use it. Okay, so I want to put this somewhere safe so it doesn't get knocked over. I don't know where. Is there anywhere safe in this whole place? I usually try to find her something Harry Potter for Christmas. Yeah. Well, now you can make something. You know what? I think I could put it up here. Okay, let's move these things. So we're gonna paint next. Okay, so let me move this and this. We're gonna slide this over. See, this goes in here when it's done, and we flip it and we put the Velcro through there. So we have that for when we need it. Okay. And I'm like juggling things. Let's move this. We're going to paint. So we're going to paint an insert next. Okay, I'm making sure that it stayed straight up and down. Okay, I think I can put this right up here. I'm so afraid I'm going to knock it over. Okay, it's going to go right there. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to have to lift these up. So let me just put one here, and then we'll dissect all the pieces. That there, and this here. Okay. All right, so let's take apart all of our pieces. I hope you can see everything. I can't scooch it up because of I'm gonna have to move that. I'm gonna move that over to the side. I'm gonna end up knocking that off. You know, I'm just gonna move it to the side and it's gonna dry right there. Okay. Okay, so let's dissect our pieces and what we're gonna do. So this is honeycomb color, so it's gonna be our deep ochre. This is going to be our brown. We're gonna dilute brown. I was trying to decide what color. I think I should do this light buttermilk so it stands out, or should I do it black? Maybe I should do it black. Maybe I should do it black. Okay, we have Be Kind. Okay, I'm gonna do this light buttermilk. The Be Kind, I'm going to do that in black. Okay, there's going to be a lot of black and yellow because it's bees. Okay, and then it got a little tiny heart. We got wings, and we have this bee. Okay, and the bee has its stripes. So all of this is going to be black, and then the stripes are going to be the yellow. So let's turn that to the side, and there's that. Okay, on this we have flowers. We're going to do our flowers crystal blue. Okay, so those are going to go up there. The center part, we're going to do brown. We're going to do our brown. So put those right there. The wing is white. Our bee, we're going to take our bee apart. Can you guys see everything? Let me see if I can go in a little bit closer for you. And there we go. Okay, so black for the background. And then yellow for the stripes. Okay. Need to change out my tape. It's kind of dirty. Yellow for stripes. Okay. All right. And then we have our honey pot. Okay. So let's try to decide what I think. Black for honey. Okay. Blue for the flower. Brown for the center button. And then this is going to be light buttermilk. The background sign, I think, should be light buttermilk also, just because it should. And then the honey pot needs to be yellow. Okay, so now we know what all our colors are. Let's go ahead and start. Oh, your niece just turned 40 and she's all over Harry Potter and she named her dog Hermione. Oh, I love that. Hermione. I love that. How fun. How fun is that? Okay, so milk chocolate. So this is watered down. I'm going to do this part and I'm going to do the buttons. All right, so that's the only milk chocolate part. I don't need very much. And I'm only doing, I think I only have to do one coat. Okay, so I'm just going to start at the top and we'll work down. We'll figure out all of our letters, all of our words, all of our things. Sorry, we're going to figure it all out. Hi, Carmela. How are you? Good morning. We are doing one of the inserts. If you just hopped on, we just assembled this. I painted it on my own, but we just assembled this. So if you purchase this, you'll want to go back and watch to see how it's assembled. Okay, so black for the words. Yeah, I kind of really feel like the words need to be black so they stand out. So we're going to do all the words black, all of them. These words, be kind. And then the B's are black. Their background part is all black. Okay. How is everybody? Happy Tuesday. Oh my goodness, my Monday. My yesterday, yeah. Yesterday was incredibly busy for me. Oh, yeah. Tara wasn't here, so I was working on orders all day. And I painted a little bit, and then I cut out some stuff. And I had a corporate order I was working on. Craziness. Craziness. Okay, let's do all of our yellow honey color. I have 2 of these. One of them's almost out. So deep ochre. I think I can just put some on here. That's deep ochre. Our jar over here is deep ochre. Okay, that one I think is all gone. There was only a little bit left. And then I have this one. Okay, so our jar, and this is layered, so don't worry about that part. And our beehive also. You know what? I think I'm going to swap out the tops. That one is all jammed. So let me swap the tops on these. Maybe this other one works better. Maybe. Let me get all the goobers out. There's like, let me grab something. There's like a dried part. Let me get that out. Okay. All right. I think we're good. We're good to go. I have another one on the shelf too. That's even more full. All right. So now that I have paint on my hands, you know how that goes. I can't paint without getting stuff all over me. I just don't know how. Okay, so our beehive, our little honey pot, okay, and our stripes. Those are all going to be deep ochre. Okay, so I think I'm just doing 1 coat on this because I want it to show through. Okay, same with this. I want those lines to show through. Okay, got my little stripes and little stripes for my bee, and then my jar. Okay, my jar of honey. Okay, all right, next. All right, so I do want to kind of clean that out. I have my little pokey tool here somewhere. Here it is. Hi, Jackie. How are you? I know. I love all the interchangeables. They're fun. I do want to grab this pokey tool and clean out a couple of these little things right here. I got too much paint. So I need to get you guys the link for this pokey tool. I probably need to order more. I do tend to lose these somehow. I misplace them. I probably have, you know, I found a lot of stuff when I went to the cabin. I brought stuff back because I had a whole separate art studio up there. So now I have extras of almost everything here. Okay, then I'm going to clean this out. So I'm just taking it. It just has a little pokey end on it. Just going to clean out those little slots. There we go. Okay. All right, and then it does have a little cover because it's like a pick to do weeding with. Okay, light buttermilk. Okay, and the back of that light buttermilk. Okay, hopefully I have enough. Okay, I think that's probably going to be enough. So I know these are so cute. So the little cabinet is adorable. I fell in love with it when I saw it. I was like, oh, I have to do that. It's really hard for me because I like so many things, but I don't know that I want to make this to sell at the craft shows. I think it would be really labor intensive, and I already have the windows. So I'm really going to think about it. I really have to decide. There's a hair that keeps... I have to paint over that. There was a hair and it got light buttermilk on it and it went onto my bee. Okay. All right. So I don't know if I want to do it for the craft shows or not. Because then you have to have choices. And once you start something, it's like, don't start what you can't finish. Because I made some of the baskets and I sold the extras. So I sold my extras at the craft show. Well, now they all want the inserts for every holiday. Well, I don't really do the basket inserts that much, but but now they've got the basket, and so they're like, did you bring more inserts? I'm like, no, but I guess I have to now. Okay, so the flower is going to be crystal blue, and then we need to do our green and our red, and then we've got all of our base coats on, and then we'll go back and we'll do whatever next coats we need to do. Okay, so crystal blue. You could do your flowers any color you want. I just kind of like this blue. I think it's cute. Okay, there's that. And then my green. So how's your medium green? I don't know if I want that. I think I want aloe. Let's grab a different one. Aloe's probably better. Okay, so aloe, and then we have red. We have Tuscan red for the little teeny tiny heart. Teeny tiny heart. So small. Okay, all right. So aloe for the little leafy, the little greenery wreath, and then Tuscan red for the teeny tiny heart. Okay, so there's the little heart right there. Okay, let's dry everything, and then we'll get second coats on the things that we need to do second coats. Some things I'm going to, I missed right here. Let me just get right there. Okay, all right, let's try. So there's all sorts of other kits. Let me see if I can bring up some of the other ones that I just posted. Let's see. You Are My Sunshine. So this is an insert that I just posted. So that one's there, and then there's Bloom and Grow. That was a new one too. Bloom and Grow. Let me find that one for you while I'm drying this. I may as well, right? Here's another one. So I just posted these this morning. So if you need other inserts, or you haven't bought the cabinet yet, so here's the double cabinet, what it looks like. Here's the cow inserts. How cute is that? So that's how it looks with the double. Okay, back to our thing. Get it completely dry. Okay, all right. I'm not putting second coats on my yellow. It looks fine. Not putting second coats on the brown. I'm going to put a second coat on my light buttermilk for sure, and my blue. And I do need to put it on the stripes. I am going to put second coats on the stripes because I didn't get a really good coat. Okay. So not doing second coats on everything. My red heart, let's do that. We're going to do our light buttermilk, needs a second coat. And I did do the wings light buttermilk. You could do white if you want to. I just chose to do light buttermilk. And get this all done. And the blue, I'll do the blue. And then we're done. We're ready to assemble. We have to ink everything. We'll assemble. I do have ribbon that goes on this and a little jute bow. I think the green's fine too. Not everything has to have second coats. Some of it looks better with it transparent. Okay. All right, let's dry. And then we will ink our edges and glue together. I do have an Easter one. Yeah, so the Easter one, I think I showed it yesterday. Let me see. Oh, I actually physically had it in here. Okay, so let me see if I have a picture up here that I can show you. The Easter one is, yeah, right here. So, there's the Easter one. Look how cute that is. So the cabinet that we assembled today is the single cabinet. That's the double cabinet right there that holds both inserts. So you can choose what you're going to do. if you want to do double or single, but that's the Easter one. Isn't it cute? Okay. All right, I hope we're dry. Okay, I think we're ready to start doing all of our inking. So what I'll do is I like to assemble it to make sure that, oops, make sure everything looks good. So I didn't miss anything. So I'm going to scooch this up. I'm going to start taking everything off. Make sure I didn't miss anything I needed to do. Or if I need to change color, like, it's going to show. Maybe it needs to be darker. I'm going to put a second coat on that. I think the brown needs to be darker. Where is my... I think that's it. Okay. I think it needs to be a little darker because it's kind of blending in with that. We'll do the buttons too. Okay. So that's, you kind of know when you lay it out and you go, oh, I need to fix that. So no big deal. That's easy to fix. Second coat on it. Get it all dry. And then the buttons up here. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. Much better. Much better. Okay. So, gonna assemble everything. And this bee goes in the center. I'm not going to stick the stripes down inside because sometimes it's hard to get them back out when I'm have my wings and my little heart and my Be Kind, and I'll move everything up so that we'll ink everything. Okay. And then we have this flower here and a flower here. We have this bee and we have its wing and we have the little pieces, the little stripes that go in there. Okay. And then the buttons for each of the little flowers. And then we have our honey pot. And the top of the honey pot, we'll put some ribbon, the word honey, and then we have a flower that goes on there. So the flower is going to go right there. And then let's move this out of the way. Okay. All right. So now we can ink everything. My window, the sunshine is coming in my window there. Okay, we can go in. Let's go in closer so that that's kind of out of the, I think I just made it worse. I had something up in the window and it's fallen down. I had a piece of something that was blocking it and it's not blocking it. Let's not put that there. Let's put it right there. Yeah, isn't that weird? So if I put this here, no, that still doesn't block it. I would have to put that right there. Nope. I'm like, is it going to block it? Nope. There we go. There we go. I figured it out. Okay. Okay, let's ink everything. For the single cabinet, are the inserts the same? Yes, you would just buy the insert and you would just use whichever ones you want. So the inserts come like this. So you would just use whichever one you want. And I don't know if there's going to be something else that the insert's going to. You never know when she starts designing what we're going to end up with. Okay, I'm just going to ink the edges a little bit on this. It does show up. I know you think that maybe inking the black doesn't show up, but it kind of shows up whitish. All right, so we're going to ink everything. We'll glue it all together. I am going to put some ribbon on this. Maybe I'll just put a bow instead of putting ribbon around it. I'm trying to decide what would look better. We'll tie a bow and let's see how it looks. Okay. We can do one by one and just glue it together as we're inking and see what we think. Okay, so glue this part together. Can you guys see? Now you can't see. Now it's shadowy. Now it's really shadowy. Darn it. That's so weird that my window, it's like I need to put something up there really quick. I could do that. Okay, the honey pot's going to go right there. What can I tape up there? I do have tape, so I could just tape something across the window. I think what we'll do is we'll put that there and we will tie a little bow. I am going to make the little line with the ink pad right like that across. Okay. All right. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to leave it. There's just a little glowing light that's from the window. We'll just scooch it over so that it's not in the thing. Okay. I had, where's my glue thing? Darlene, what did you do with your glue? I had glue and a sponge. Did you guys see it? I had my little dish with the glue and the sponge. I don't see where I put it. Guess I'm getting a new one. That's so funny. I don't know what happened to it. It jumped. Okay, so it's probably on the floor. I'm gonna put a little bit of glue in here. And this can go on the corner. We'll tie a little bow. We'll hot glue a little bow on. I don't see it. Oh, you have to go. Oh yeah, have a great day, Carol. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Yeah, my day is going to be busy too. Got lots of paperwork to finish up. I did get a lot accomplished yesterday though. I have the mailing list for my craft show, and the postcards have to go out, so I finalized that. I'm ahead of schedule. I'm like 2 weeks ahead of schedule on that, so I'm really happy about that part. Okay, that's just going to go right there on top of that, like that. Okay, I'm going to do a little bow. I have this right here. I think a little bow would be so cute right on the corner. Maybe it doesn't need it. Maybe we'll find out when we tie this that we actually don't need a bow there. You can tell me. You can tell me bow or no bow. Let's tie a little bow. Tiny one. Tiny one. Oh, Jenny, yeah, watch the entire video later. We assembled this. So we assembled a single cabinet. You ordered the double. We assembled the single one so I could show you how to glue it all together, because it is quite a lot to glue it together. So that's at the beginning of this video. Okay, so this is a new one that I just posted. I think that's too big still. Let's make it a little bit smaller. And I don't know if we need that with the flower there. Or do we need it to go around? Maybe it needs to go around. Maybe it should have gone underneath and around. No, it's too big. Okay. All right, you guys tell me. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and then you tell me bow or no bow. And I'm going to make it really small. Needs to be a lot smaller than it is. Okay, so if you're just hopping on, Thursday we will be releasing Harry Potter. I will know what the transfers are tomorrow. I think it's too much. I think it's too much with the flower. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. You guys think it's too much too? I think it's too much. I think it's too much. Okay, let me move that. All right, I'll set that up there. Okay, we're just gonna do one by one and glue together each one as we go. The sun went behind the clouds. It's gonna be one of those days. We had rain. Oh my goodness, rain last night. I was painting, and my patio right behind the shop has a metal roof. And that rain was coming down so hard. I was like, oh my goodness, is it hail? I kind of thought that maybe it was hail. Yeah, I'm surprised too that they're releasing so much so often. I know. No, it's same. I'm same way, but they're small releases. They just did spring. Spring was kind of a larger one, but yeah. So they're releasing now. Harry Potter will be small, probably my guess, because they didn't tell us, but my guess is it's going to be maybe 5 or 6 transfers. kind of like when they did peanuts and it was small. It's going to be something like that. That's my guess. Is it's, but they didn't tell us. They're like, oh, I don't know. That usually means they don't want to tell us, or it could mean that maybe some of them didn't come in yet and that they're waiting. You know, sometimes things don't pass quality assurance. We know that. So, okay, getting the glue on there because I have my little stripies on my bee. Get my bee on there. Let's get the stripes in first, and then I'll put the wing on. So that one goes there, and then that one goes on the top, and then okay, you know what? There we go. Okay, there was a little goober on the side. There's that. Okay, and then this flower goes here. Another flower goes right up here. There's a button in the center of each of the flowers, and then we have the wing, and then I'll realign everything so that it is all centered and where it's supposed to be. Okay. You guys, it snowed so badly. It snowed so much up where my cabin is. They closed the road right by my cabin because there's like a little hill, and people are crazy going down it. They slide right into the intersection at the bottom and cause major accidents. They closed that road. So I'm just grateful that I got everything done and that the storm didn't come a day early. Okay, look how cute that is. That is so stinking cute. Okay, there's that one. Do you know if we're getting a spring peanuts? I don't think we're getting any more peanuts. We got the one that had the Valentines. I don't know 100% for sure. I'm going to ask because I want to know, but they haven't said yes or no. They have said that we have it for the next, we still have the rest of the year with peanuts. So we had a 2-year contract. So I know that there'll be more. I just don't know when. So yeah, 2 inches of rain at your house yesterday. That's a lot. I know it was a little crazy yesterday. So there's flash flood warnings. There's road closures. I'm glad that I wasn't still up in the mountains because people don't know how to drive in the snow around here. I grew up in the snow. I'm just barely putting any on here. I grew up in the snow. I haven't driven in it that much lately though. So for me, I don't want to drive in it because people don't understand when you start sliding. They don't know what to do. And for me, I learned by making myself slide. By going to a parking lot and making myself slide. We would go and we would play. We would do it on purpose because it was fun. And so you knew the feeling of getting a little out of control with your vehicle and then getting it right back under control. So I learned how to do that when I was younger. When I was a kid, we learned how to drive in the snow so that you're not a crazy adult that doesn't know how. But growing up in the snow is a lot different. You have a lot of respect for it. You don't go out without having, blankets in your vehicle in case you break down. You could freeze to death. You have so much you have to think about with the snow. Okay, let me get my little sponge. Look how cute this is. This is super cute, guys. I just stuck my finger in the glue. Be kind. I'm a little clumsy, guys. Oh my gosh. I'm a little messy. I'm a lot messy. I'm a lot messy all the time. I just can't do it without being a little messy. Okay. All right. So I need to get a little bit more glue on there. Okay. Be kind. All right, that's done. All right, next. we're almost done with all this. And then I'll show you how it looks on the double one, and then I'll show you on the single one. I need a little bit more for the words. Okay, we're going to ink the edges. The rain is on its way there. North of you is getting a lot of snow. We're just missing the snow. Yeah, a lot of places, they need the snowpack for their water supply. Your mom was not too happy because your car was rear-wheel drive and thought you'd end up stuck somewhere. Yes, you know, I was lucky because I learned how to drive in the snow. You know, growing up in Idaho, you had a lot of snow. You had like 6 months of snow sometimes. You had to know. You can't crop without making a mess. I can't either. That's how you learn to drive on the snow. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And you learn to respect it. Okay, I'm going to put a little jute bow on here. Or should I put this bow? I've already tied this bow. Maybe I should just do that bow. We'll just do that bow since it's already tied. Okay. All right. So glue on the words. You don't have to have it everywhere. You just have to have enough to adhere it to your surface. And there is scoring. You can see where it goes. And then this is just going to be diagonal right there. So I think I'll just use that little bow. I was going to use jute on there, but I think I'll just use that little bow. You guys can decide what you want to do. If you want to, I'll be including the jute and the ribbon, so you can decide. Okay, I'm going to grab my hot glue gun. We'll glue that on, and then I'm going to show you how this all goes together, and we'll be done. I know it's a long one today. I intended it to be long, so it could show you everything. Yep, right there. Okay, very carefully press it into it, and then I'm going to drop my glue gun back down there onto the mat. I'm going to unplug it so that it's, of course it landed on something, because I have come in here like a day later and it's still on there. Okay, we got everything glued together, right? Okay, let me bring in the double. Oh, actually, we got to put Velcro on them. Okay, let me show you how to do the Velcro. So we have this little cheater thing that's going to come with your cabinet. Okay, these are going to go in there. Okay, you're going to take your Velcro. You have to decide which one you want. Like on this one, I have the fuzzy, so the prickly side would need to go on the other. I think I want to put the Be Kind on here. So I'm going to put the fuzzy side on this. So I'm going to flip this over, and there's holes there. So there's the holes, okay? And you're going to be able to put the Velcro down through the hole so that it lines it up. You don't have to worry about it every time. It's going to be in the same place. So this side, we're going to put the fuzzy ones. All you do is you press it through the hole. And then when you take it off, you're going to press those on. So you're aligning this. This is your alignment tool. Okay. So it's going to, and I had to adjust this because mine didn't fit the right size. When I cut mine out, it didn't fit. I had to adjust it a little bit. Okay. Then you press it down. Okay. All right. And then same with this one. Stick it into the alignment tool. Okay. That's going to come with your cabinet so that you have that. And then you're going to put these on there. Okay. So that you have them in the right location. They're going to match up with the cabinet. Okay. That's how it works. It helps you out so that it lines up. So just press it through and then just pull that up and press those down. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me move this. Hi Pam, how are you? Good morning. Okay, so we just made our inserts. All right, there's a little bit of glue. So let me see if I can get it with, let me get my stylus. There's a little bit of glue on there that I want to get out before it dries. Okay, let me bring in the double cabinet. We assembled the single one, but let me bring the double one so I can show you that. So the double one is the one I showed you yesterday. Okay, and so this one has the prickly on it. This has the fuzzy. So that goes with that. This one goes over on this side. And then these guys can go in here. You can decide which way you want it. I kind of feel like it needs to be like that, like the honey on one side and the bee on the other. Okay, so there's, so you can have it in here like this, or you can put it in the other one. So I want to put you up to myself so you can see these better. So I'm gonna stand. This is the one that we assembled today. We assembled this single one. My head's in the way. Let me go ahead and take myself out of the corner. So we assembled the single one. The only difference is that this one has a second side and it has these in the center. That's the only difference on here, is that it has a second side and this is in the center. This one doesn't have that in the center because it would be in the way. Okay, so here's how it looks with this. Okay, now this is what you can do with this. This will go here. So those Velcro things will reach. I was worried that they wouldn't reach down there. And then you can just choose whichever one you want. Like if you want to put this one in here, you can, or you can choose this. So when you have the single one, you can choose which ones you want to display. Okay, does that make sense? So I'm gonna stand these up. I'll just leave this one right like that, and I'll stand it up so you can see it. See what it looks like. And they just stand. All right. Let me put you up to myself so you can see both. All right, there you go. Yes, the alignment comes with both. So if you ordered the double one, you'll get the alignment tool. If you ordered the single one, you'll get the alignment tool. It's going to be with each of them. So that way the Velcro is always going to be in the right position. But look how cute it is. The single one's cute and the double one's cute. And it's really easy to just move everything. So if you want to move things around, if you want to have one of each, you can slide these however you want. They easily come out. I'm going to knock it over. You guys. Oh my goodness. Okay. And what I usually do is I like to kind of tilt them back. So I kind of pull it forward and kind of lean it back a little bit. So there you go. Which one do you like better, the single or the double? I think they're, and which color do you like? I like both, but then I think if I had this one, I might have painted the B one, the back part, a different color, even though I think it still looks good. But certain colors are going to look better on another color. Anyways, there you go, guys. I wanted to show you how to do that, how to assemble the cabinet. I had many of you purchased yesterday. These are in the, it's called the Country. Is it called Country Cabinet? Let me get you the link again. What did I call it? It is called the Cottage Cabinet. Okay. All right. So let me share that collection with you. I think they're on sale until noon today, my time. So, because my AM PM thing, I kind of messed up on. There you go. Double. Go big or go home. Yes. You like both, but you get the small and it's white. Yeah. You know what? Everybody is different. Whatever, like if you wanted to put one on your desk at work, the single one would be so cute. And you could have a single one at work and you could have a single one at home, and you could put half of the inserts on one and half of the ones at home. So that's what I was thinking, is that if I had the single one and I was working outside my home, I'd probably have two of them. And then I could split my inserts. Yeah, makes sense, right? Okay, guys, I love you. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Thanks for being here. This is my favorite